Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nitty Gritty to Balance podcast. I'm your host, Abigail, and joining us each episode is my mom, Stacy, a holistic health coach and intuitive. Each week, we discuss topics through the lens of her work and subspecialties to bring to light the balance in the everyday. So with that, let's bring in the brains behind the balance and get this episode started. 1, 2, 3. NGB episode 5?
Sure.
I think so. Wow. We took a little hiatus, but to everyone listening, it feels like no time has passed.
Yeah, we've had a lot going on.
A lot going on.
And then it's just kind of snowballed.
Yep.
And kept going on.
Yep.
And but now here we are.
It's time. It's time to get back to it.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to today's episode, everyone. All things ingredients. This discussion follows closely behind our basics of health, where we touched briefly on ingredients, but today is a deeper dive into important and common ingredients found in our foods. Good and not so good. I would recommend to get out your notepads for this one and jot down any info that sticks out to you, or better yet, get a can or boxed good and follow along. This is going to be a fun episode. How are you today?
Hi, baby. I'm good.
Good?
It's rainy. It's cold. So it's a great day to do this.
I agree.
And ingredients are probably just one of my favorite ingredients. See, there we go. Topics. I love it.
Yeah.
As you kids know, I kind of go on and on and on about ingredients. And so there's just a lot there to talk about and to be aware of.
And I think it seems like for me, almost that's kind of where everything started for you, was really looking at and understanding and realizing what all of these ingredients are and just how much junk is in everyday foods.
Yeah.
It is certainly a rabbit hole, but
you know what I've decided we're going to call it? It is no longer a rabbit hole.
Okay.
I think we're probably starting it here on NGB. It's going to be a mole tunnel.
A mole tunnel.
Yes. So if you think about it, a rabbit hole, rabbits don't create tunnels. They create a hole, and they have a hole in the ground to basically like a den, and it stops there.
Right.
Moles have tunnels, and they poke up here, and then they poke up here. And that's really, I'm realizing this whole food journey is that once you get in this hole, it doesn't end.
Yeah.
You pop up here and you realize now I'm in a totally different space and there's something totally different to learn. And then you go back in this tunnel.
That's so funny.
And you just keep going and going and going, because these ingredients lead you to another one, and to another one, or to another realization of something else. And it just ongoing.
Yeah.
Like a mole tunnel.
True. Wow. Okay. This episode certainly
will hopefully lead our listeners down some mole tunnels.
Yes. And it's so funny because I truly enjoy talking about ingredients too. And sometimes when I'm talking to somebody and the discussion of health comes up, the discussion of foods, ingredients, healthier swaps to our everyday foods, it's a topic that I always jump on because I'm so passionate about it. And sometimes I fear that I'm just bombarding this person with so much information because there's so much to know.
There is.
And it is a lot of information at the beginning, but we have some tips on how to navigate it that we'll get into. That's exactly what this episode is about.
Yeah. We're going to get into the nitty gritty of what we're eating, what's on the shelf waiting for us, and then finding the balance of how to interpret what you're seeing on the front. And now, hopefully, we're bringing huge awareness to people. Maybe start looking at the back.
Yeah.
And that's really what I want our listeners to take away, is to be informed consumers going to the grocery store, and to think about it maybe a little bit differently, that what you're seeing on the front of the package once you turn it over and read those ingredient labels, that's really maybe not what you are consuming and taking home to your family.
Yeah.
And being all the wiser, it just helps you be a better shopper, supporting the companies that really support our bodies and not supporting the companies that really don't ultimately care about the health of people. They're, it's a business.
Yeah.
Bottom line is the
At
money.
the end of the day.
And getting that product out.
And manufacturing it the cheapest way possible so that profit is even more.
Yes.
Not using quality ingredients.
Yeah. And we'll get into that. Yeah. A little bit more towards the end of our ingredients list. We'll see that coming up and we'll touch on that a bit.
Yeah.
But absolutely that's where a lot of this is kind of stemming from, is that the manufacturers need it to be as cheap as it can be for them, because then their return is a whole lot bigger. So,
yeah. And that's why this episode is a very important one, because it is a very vast topic. I feel like I say that every episode, but this, again, is just kind of scratching the surface on this. But it's laying a really great foundation for shopping habits.
And the mole tunnel. It is the foundation to get you in that mole tunnel.
Yes.
And pop up somewhere else with a different perspective and a different awareness. So you can go back in that tunnel and pop up somewhere else and know that you're advancing forward. And it's,
you're learning.
Look at it that way. Yeah. That this foundation is advancing you forward, what's to come. And this is so important. Why? Because we eat food every day. This is what keeps us alive and going. So how can it not be important?
Right.
How can we not talk about it and pay attention to it and truly understand it?
Yeah. Paying attention to it is the biggest thing, I feel like. And I don't want anyone to be discouraged by any of this knowledge. Next time you go to the grocery store, treat it like a little scavenger hunt. You're looking for specific ingredients, either to opt in on or opt out of. Treat it like a little scavenger hunt.
I really like the way you said that. Opt in, opt out. Think of it that way. That really gives you control. It gives you the power. Do I want this in my body? Do I want to consume this? Do I want to support this? Do I want my kids, my family to opt in, opt out? Great way to think of it. It's not like can't have, shouldn't have, the more negative words. No.
Right.
Opt in, opt out. That gives us control. That gives us power.
Yeah.
And that's a really nice way to look at it.
Well, I want to pause really quickly because I realized we forgot to pull a card.
Oh my gosh.
I know. We just jumped right into it.
We did. We were so excited about ingredients and we've been away a little bit.
And this is an episode that we've just been itching to do.
We have. It's been sitting there just percolating.
Yes.
And we were so excited to get ready. Yeah, let's do it. What's our card that we're gonna?
I think we're gonna do this one with the white flowers. If you could grab it.
Oh, okay. And do we know what deck that is?
I always forget to look.
Yeah.
I felt my eyes going crazy.
Oh.
We'll just there.
Yep.
And we'll let it
give us wisdom
percolate with this episode.
And give us wisdom at the end.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump in and officially start this episode. Do you want to take us off? Do you want to read more of this section, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, no. I think we're ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Do the data.
One of the reasons to me that this episode is very important is because the information out there can be so conflicting. What we see visually, what we see on the ingredients list, lots of ingredients that we maybe can't pronounce. So what in the world are they? But let's really dig into the nitty gritty of ingredients and decode the nutrition label.
Sounds fun. Okay, so we're going to be starting just at the very top of an ingredient nutrition facts list. And let me back up just really quick here and just touch again on what you see on the front may not be exactly what you think that you are getting. So the back of this nutrition facts, on the back of the package, the nutrition facts label is so important on really, really giving you the information you need to know as a consumer on whether you truly want to consume that food. And I would like the shoppers to start thinking about looking at the back of a product before even reading the front of it. You want tomato sauce? Great. Go to that tomato sauce section, grab a jar. Doesn't care label, doesn't matter the label brand. Grab a jar, flip it over on the back. Start there.
Yeah.
Not on the front. Not on what they're telling you that they think you want to consume.
Yeah.
Look at the back. Okay. So let's start with serving size and our daily value, what exactly that means, right? So our serving size, so important.
Yes.
How much food, how much of this product should you really be consuming with the ingredients that are in there? We overeat. There is no doubt. So the serving size is very important. And so what you're reading on your nutrition facts label on the back is telling you all the nutritional values that you're going to be getting for that serving size. Now, if you're going to eat that whole entire bag of potato chips, just know that that sodium that you see listed there, you're getting a lot more than that. Those sugars that you see listed there, if you're going to eat that whole package or that whole tub of ice cream, just know you're consuming a whole lot more. And we'll get a little bit more into that, but just serving size is important. Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that. You know, if you reach for that bag of cookies and you're like, yes, I really want this bag of cookies. How many cookies should you? I don't like that word, but
realistically, how many cookies are you going to eat?
And should you be eating with what the ingredients are inside? So, you know, it may tell you 2 cookies. You know, when I sit down to eat some cookies, I can tell you for myself, I don't want something that says, you know, the ingredients in this isn't maybe so great for you. It's really got a lot of sugar and you should only have 2 cookies. I want like maybe 4, 5, 6. Yeah. That's what I want to sit down and eat. Exactly. So knowing that, I am going to look for a product that is going to maybe be less sugar to where I can satisfy what I like to sit down and eat. I'm going to shop wisely and not say, oh, well, okay, forget that. And now I'm eating 3 times as much sugar.
Yeah, it's so easy to do.
So easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Serving size. Very important. First thing that maybe you should pay attention to when you're looking at the nutrition fact label.
Yeah.
And then you've got your daily value. And this is the number or weight that the food is measured in. So there's some people that like to measure their food. And so this portion there just gives you, helps the guidance on that measured weight of the food for the people that like to do that. And then DV, your daily value, is how much of that sodium, sugar, cholesterol, fat, whatever it is, that's going to be listed on your label. How much are you getting from this item to what you should be getting daily of that ingredient?
Yeah.
Okay. And hopefully that makes sense to everybody. So that's the basics of what you're going to see at the very top under the labeled nutrition facts. And from there, we move into calories,
which we touched briefly on before, but such a key component of the ingredient label.
It is.
The nutrition label.
And it means something different to a lot of people. Calories does not mean the same thing to everybody. Some people count calories. Some people don't. Some people don't care about calories. Some people don't even know what a calorie really, truly is and why is it even important?
Mm-hmm.
So a calorie is a unit measurement of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's units of energy measurements of how much energy your body is going to get out of that food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so your calories, let's say, I'm looking at a can of chips right now, and the calorie total for this can of chips, well, for our serving size.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have to go back to our serving size, which in this can is 14 chips, and our calories is 140.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our unit of energy that we're getting. We're getting 140 calories unit energy
from 14 chips.
From 14 chips.
So the higher the calorie count, the more energy we're getting from that food. Now, of course, that kind of takes us into, is it clean energy or not? But what necessarily is the purpose of low calorie count and consuming a low calorie diet?
That's for weight loss or weight management.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would be geared towards somebody who's paying attention to their calories, counting their calories, and basically putting their body in a calorie deficit, going under the amount that their body needs of energy. So it starts using energy elsewhere in the body.
Right.
It starts pulling from the fat cells,
which can help ultimately lead to that weight loss. Awesome.
Yes. And so it's important to note here, kind of what you had mentioned, that calories are not equal and that there are what they call empty calories. And so that's foods that, yes, it's going to provide your body with energy, but it's not going to provide your body with anything else nutritionally. So no vitamins, no minerals, no protein, nothing of value to the body.
And it's just cheap energy at that point.
It is cheap energy that you're more than likely going to have a crash, and you're going to have to go back to that. It also leads to overeating. So you will eat the whole bag of chips instead of just 14 because it's empty. Yeah. It's not satiating. It's not, there's nothing there. It's just basically, almost like emotional eating. You're eating.
Right. Yeah.
Not for a main necessarily body purpose.
Yeah.
And so those empty calories, you'll find it largely in your sodas, candy, ice cream, sports drinks, fast food, potato chips, cookies, all those things that you can sit down and just really over consume and still not really feel totally satisfied. Or in a short amount of time, you're hungry again.
Yeah.
And you got to go eat again. So let's look at what kind of calories foods can give us. So 1 gram of a carbohydrate or protein will contain about 4 calories.
Okay.
So we could be talking about carbohydrates. You could be talking about your fruits and vegetables. You can be talking about starches. Those are your carbs. And so those will contain about 4 calories per gram.
Interesting.
Of that. Okay. And then 1 gram of fat contains about 9 calories. So again, calories, let's think of energy. Okay. And so a good fat could possibly be an avocado or a good fat sourced oil. And so you're going to be looking at about 9 calories per 1 gram.
Wow.
Yeah. So fat, you can see, it could make you feel fuller, longer. And we're talking about good fats, not our empty, bad fats, which we'll get into here in just a moment. Because I believe that's next. Yeah, that's next after calories. So knowing, again, here, not all calories are created equal.
Right.
And so then moving into that, then we've got our fats. And so first, you will see total fats. And so that's all the fats that may be contained in this product, your trans fats, your saturated fats, your unsaturated fats. Those will be in your total fats. Okay. And so then from that, then they'll break down the different kinds of fats that that are in that product. Okay. And so in this can of chips that I'm looking at right now, they have listed a saturated fat and trans fat. Let's go to trans fat. A lot of times you'll see that one listed first. And nowadays, a lot of times that's at 0, which is really good.
Okay.
Your trans fats are your bad fats. But here's conflicting. At one point, we were told trans fats were great for you. Eat trans fats. Eat those instead of the saturated fats. And it really caused a lot of problems. And so they've really changed that direction. No longer trans fats. And your trans fats are your hydrogenated oils and your hard margarines. So you go to the grocery store and you'll still see that brick or that tub of margarine. That's your trans fats.
Okay.
And that does a lot of harm to the body. So the food industries have been steering clear of that for the most part. So usually you will find that is 0 grams. And if you see that it's got some trans fats, you might really want to reconsider if that's a product that you really want to eat, because we want to steer clear of that fat. And then we'll go into saturated fat. That will usually be the next line of fat that's there on your nutrition label. And these fats are not anywhere near like the trans fats, but you do want to try and somewhat limit these saturated fats.
Okay.
And these really, they're very often found in your processed foods. And these can be from fatty meats, butter, ghee, and lard. Now, these are good sources of fats, but here again, it's moderation. You really want to pay attention to the amounts that you are consuming.
Right.
And that, again, is where your serving size really plays a role in that. Not overindulging in these fats.
And how often you're eating these foods. Like if you're adding ghee or lard into a meal that you have every day, absolutely want to take that serving size into consideration. If it's something you have periodically, sometimes that's definitely a different thing as well. So taking into consideration how often you are consuming these fats.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I also really want to point out here that fats are not bad.
Yeah.
Our body needs fats. It is essential for us. It really helps power the brain. It is good for the body. It is good energy as long as it is a clean fat.
Right.
Fat does not necessarily make you fat. Yes, it doesn't. It all goes back to quantity and good fat or not as to how your body is going to respond to it.
Right.
So don't be afraid of your fats. Know your fats and choose the ones that are going to benefit the body and maybe steer clear of the ones that can tend to be a little more harmful. And then we need to talk here also about the monounsaturated fats, which is your healthy fat. And we would get these from our nuts, which would be almonds, cashews, pistachios. So your nut butters, very good for you. Want to pay attention to the brands. You want to pay attention to sugar content. They are not all created equal. And, we'll kind of go into that in a little bit here too as well. But just understand that just because it's a good fat doesn't mean necessarily maybe that it's got other good things in it.
Yes.
So also with this monounsaturated fats, which are your healthy fats, will also include some of your oils. So you'll have your olive oil, your avocado oil, and your rapeseed oil, which I'm pretty sure is your canola oil.
Okay.
Different countries will call it different things.
Sure.
So rapeseed, I believe, is a European term for that oil. And
I feel like we're seeing that term more often now.
We are.
We did maybe even 5 years ago.
I I think you're correct on that, because I have noticed it a lot more commonly. People either speaking that or you seeing it on the ingredient label. Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah. So rapeseed is, in the US, we call it canola oil.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. And then we have our polyunsaturated fats, which again here also are healthy fats. And these are going to be our omega-6 and omega-3s. Now we need to have a healthy balance of these two oils. Omega-3s are more preferable over your omega-6s. You don't want them out of balance.
Okay.
So you want to look more for your omega-3s than your omega-6s. And this would come from your oily fish, walnuts, pine nuts, sesame and sunflower seeds, and those oils as well.
Okay.
But you have to pay attention to a healthy balance of those.
Got you.
Yeah.
Do you want to touch on why? Or is that opening a mole tunnel that we don't want to jump down?
It really is. Yeah. There's a lot there. So I think for this podcast, to keep it kind of in the direction where we're going, that could be a podcast all on its own.
Sure. Yeah. Maybe we should do one all about oils.
Yeah. I think we absolutely should.
Okay.
Because they are imperative, and we see them in pretty much
just about everything.
Every product.
Yes.
Yes. So it definitely is worth having the conversation about. But yeah, that'll be another tunnel for another day.
We'll pin that one.
Yes, there we go. Okay. So then from there, after you have looked through your fats and determined whether you've got healthy fats or maybe not so healthy fats in here, then next is going to be your cholesterol. Cholesterol is something that our body naturally makes. We don't have to find it and eat it in foods.
Right.
We don't have to. So cholesterol does not have to be an ingredient that you look for. Now, we need to be aware of if a product has a lot of cholesterol in it. Cholesterol is in packaged food and it comes from animal products. That's where cholesterol comes from. So that would be such as your meats, poultry, fish, eggs, and of course, don't forget your dairy products, because those are animal-based. It's going to have cholesterol in it. A daily value is 300 milligrams a day for someone without heart disease. If somebody has heart disease risk factors, then 200 milligrams per day
is recommended. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's important to be aware of if you're looking at, let's say, like a shelved stew or a chili, you're going to see cholesterol in there. So you'll want to know what that content is, especially if you have heart disease risks. Okay. Now, you will see products that say no cholesterol, low cholesterol. And how do they determine that? So if something is cholesterol free, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has absolutely no cholesterol in it. You know, it could be a chili, let's say, and let's say the label says cholesterol free. They can label it that if it has less than 2 milligrams per serving. Then it can be labeled as cholesterol free. Okay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have enough amounts to really measure out and make a difference with the body. So they can label it that. Now, if it says reduced cholesterol, this means that it is 25% less than the cholesterol that would be in the original form. So if it's reduced cholesterol, it only has 25% less amount than what would be just in that normal product. Okay. That's how they can label it reduced cholesterol. And then it's important to link that if your label has a higher cholesterol number, then your fats are going to automatically increase as well. So you can kind of look at both of those. So if it has a little bit higher cholesterol, just know your fats are going to be a little bit higher. So it's important to be aware, are these good fats or bad fats? You know?
Yeah. And so touching on the healthier fats one more time, you look for mono unsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. That's what you're going to gravitate towards.
Definitely, but not all products will have those. So you then would look, a lot of them are going to have your saturated fats. Mm-hmm. A majority of them will be saturated fats.
Okay.
And so yes, I'm going to look at how much saturated fat is in this product.
Okay. It's just funny, the way my brain initially looks at these, because we have our trans fats, our saturated fats, mono unsaturated, and polyunsaturated. And the way my brain reads these is, okay, we have saturated as kind of our baseline, and then we have unsaturated, and then we have mono unsaturated. And it's kind of like, okay, with all of these different things, it sounds like maybe this could be more of a processed fat and I should stay away from it. But yeah, it's so interesting that those two seem to be the lesser processed ones.
The mono and poly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there's more fats than just that.
Sure.
So this is just a very simplified. So anybody out there who is beyond these basics, don't be screaming at me that there's more. I know.
Right.
We're trying to keep it basic.
Yeah.
We're trying not to overwhelm everybody with this. But there's more here. There's a lot more. But so we have to understand our words. Mm-hmm. And mono is meaning one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a one chain fat or oil. Mm-hmm. Okay. So poly is many. Mm-hmm. So there's, you think of it as like a chain. Mm-hmm. So there's more links in this chain.
Right.
So that's, the words can look a little scary.
Yes.
But it just really is just more scientifically on the compounds that's in that oil that's making that oil, up.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. One that gets a bad rap, sodium.
And again, here, it really does. It's kind of like the fats, and fats are not bad. Our body needs them. It is the same with sodium. Our body has to have sodium. It's an electrolyte. Mm-hmm. Our body cannot function properly without sodium. Mm-hmm. As like sugar, there is different kinds of sodium. Mm-hmm. And there are sodiums that help our body, and there are sodiums that don't help our body. And so there's, the salts that have been processed and are stripped of their nutritional value. They don't have their minerals in them. So it's important to also know that what type of sodium are you consuming? Mm-hmm. And if it's in a processed packaged foods, more than likely it's not a great sodium. So yes, it is something that you need to kind of pay attention to and not overindulge, especially if you're not paying attention to your serving size. Mm-hmm. But you also can't be afraid of sodium because your body has to have it.
Yeah.
So just another thing that you really have to be mindful of. So after we have our fats, we have our cholesterol, and then we have our sodium. And so this is per serving size. And the recommended daily intake is less than 2,300 milligrams. So on average, that's 1 teaspoon.
For a daily limit.
Of salt.
Wow.
Okay. Now, what people normally consume daily is, research has shown, about 3,300 milligrams daily.
It's about 1,000 milligrams
more
over the recommended.
Wow. Yeah. And I would say, just personally, knowing, kind of my eating habits, it is probably overindulgence. It's just eating more than what's recommended on the product. Mm-hmm. Or possibly, more frequent eating maybe just too much through the day.
Yeah. It's not necessarily that you're eating a specific food that just has astronomical levels of sodium.
Exactly.
It's just the amount of consumption.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's something to eyeball. It really is not anything that I
dwell on,
that I focus on a nutritional label.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. And, my husband has heart disease
Mm-hmm.
risk factors.
Mm-hmm.
So even with that, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't worry about sodium in our house
Mm-hmm.
because I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's something that we need. We're not going to be afraid of it.
Right. Yeah. And again, that goes back to the foods that you're eating. You guys cook probably 98% of your meals.
A lot, yeah.
And so it really is, for anyone that's buying and eating packaged foods, pre-made meals, those things.
The freezer meals.
Yeah. Where you really want to watch and calculate maybe what's in those foods.
Definitely be mindful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you are eating a lot of packaged meals and even takeout meals, they are high in sodium.
Yeah.
You need to be aware of
Mm-hmm.
of what your sodium intake is, because again, not all sodium is created equal.
Mm-hmm.
And what is going to be in those packaged foods, what is going to be in the takeout, I can pretty much guarantee you it is not going to be a good source of the sodium.
Right.
So it could eventually cause problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be aware. Know what your daily intake should be.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe start just kind of paying attention, loosely,
mm-hmm.
and get an idea of what you actually are consuming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And try and just pay attention to maybe switching to a better, cleaner salt.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, then we move on into total carbohydrates. And so what this is it's going to take your fiber and your sugars, your natural sugars, and then your added sugars.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to give your total carbs. And there's lots of people that pay attention to their carbs. So this is one that is important to look at. I always zoom in on sugar.
Yeah.
The first thing I look at when I read a label is I look at the sugar, and then I'll kind of go to the serving size and look at that, and usually laugh and put it back, and then I'll move around the nutritional facts label from there and see what else is in it, and then of course the ingredient list, which we'll get to. But yeah, so we've got our dietary fiber, and then you've got your total sugars and your added sugars. Dietary fiber is so important, and it is just not something that is really taught to us. Our body needs that. Your gut needs the fiber. One, to stay regular with your stools, and two, some fibers feed the good bacteria in your gut. Sugar feeds the bad bacteria in your gut.
Yeah.
And largely, I think that's what the population is feeding. And we wonder why we've got such an increase in bowel syndromes and disruptions and just unhealthy gut.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw in here really quick the importance of this. Your gut is linked to your brain. There is an access there. So what is going into your gut is also feeding your brain. We have a lot of gut problems in the world, and we have a lot of brain disorders in the world. And
they are linked.
Look at that. They're linked. So what we are putting in our digestive system, what is going into our intestines, is so important. And fiber is a major role in that. Not only that, fiber keeps you full.
Yeah.
So why not have something packed full of fiber and know that you're going to eat, hopefully, the serving size, or maybe a little less, maybe a little more, fine.
Yeah.
But feel full longer. So you're not coming back in an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours, whatever it is.
Right.
When you have a crash or you're just hungry again and reaching for something that is not full of nutrition.
Right. It's those foods that give you reach good satiety levels. like the healthy fats, like the good fibers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep you full longer.
Yeah. Nuts, just grabbing a handful of nuts will absolutely help with satiety.
Yeah.
So then let's also talk here in our carbohydrates, our total sugars and our added sugars. Very, very important. So total sugars is what's naturally in that food, if it has anything naturally in that food, and then what the manufacturer has added to that food. Okay, so that would be your added sugars. So I always, look at my total sugars, and then I'll kind of look at my added sugars and see. And if they've added sugars, then I absolutely go to the ingredient list and see what did they add and why are they adding that, right?
Yeah.
And we'll get into that here in a moment. We'll talk about sugars a little bit at length and kind of awaken some shoppers on that.
Sugar.
On sugar.
Everyone
we all love it.
Sugar.
We all love it. So, and again, here, your serving size is going to be very, very important for how much sugar you are consuming. Very important. And then from there, then we'll go to protein. Very important. How much protein we're eating. I think that one's pretty much
understood.
Yeah. Our body needs it. It's building blocks for muscle and a lot of other processes in the body. We need protein.
Yes.
And then on some of them, then you'll have your vitamins and minerals list. How much it will give you, either some, nothing, and then how much of your daily value that it is giving you in percentage. Yeah. Okay. So now we can talk about our ingredient list of chemicals. I mean, food stuff, right?
Food stuff. Starting with the heavy hitter, the sugars.
Let's do it. Let's talk about sugar. Like we were just saying, we all love it. We all want it. We crave it. So let's understand it.
Yeah.
Okay. We have natural sugars. We have synthetic sugars. So our natural sugars, and these are just kind of the basics. There are more, but just to kind of keep it simple, the ones that we most commonly see on packaged foods or that we hear about would be our glucose, and that comes from dairy. Galactose also comes from dairy, but glucose is the one that we really hear about. So glucose from dairy, fructose, fruit, and then sucrose, which will be in your grains and starches and vegetables and those. And so then also we have our seeds and our nuts in that category. And these are just naturally occurring sugars that are in these products. Right. Okay. Then we have our added sugars. And now these can come from natural products, but they are changed.
Right.
And so they are changed to intensify the sweetness, or they're just needing to use a whole lot more for that. And sugars change. I mean, sugars are needed in foods, largely for preserving.
Okay.
It is a preservative element. So in your jams and jellies and things like that, you need sugar. But how much is in there? What kind of sugar are they using?
Yeah.
Some are good, some are not so good for our body. So our added sugars that you'll largely see on ingredients lists are the high fructose corn syrup. And this one is heavily used, and research is showing that it's really having a big effect.
Yeah.
And you see it in a lot of children's foods.
And it certainly is a sweetener that I do see the US moving away from. It is almost kind of shocking to me when I pick up a product and I see that it has high fructose corn syrup, because I feel like there has been a big shift away from it. But yeah, it's a big it's a big sugar that's been around for quite a while.
Yeah. And there is getting some pushback on it. People are kind of becoming aware and understanding that it really is leading to a lot of problems, and especially, unfortunately, in the children that are consuming a lot of these products that have it. And then we have agave nectar, we have honey, we have fruit juice, barley malt, caramel, dextrin, dextrose, maltodextrin, maltol, mannose, molasses, muscovado, panela, triaco, and maltose.
Wow.
And those are just some. That doesn't even really. But these are ones that you really commonly can find in an ingredient list.
And those are still more naturally occurring sugars.
Yes.
They're not synthetically created.
Correct.
But still, they're ones that you see quite often.
Yes. And a lot of times you'll see a lot of these in the same ingredient list.
Yes. You could see 2 or 3 different sugars.
And that's kind of how they get around labeling exactly how much sugar is in it. Because if it has a little bit smaller quantities, just like on that cholesterol, if it was less than 2%, they could say it was cholesterol free. Now there's cholesterol in there, but they can label it as cholesterol free because there's just not really enough to weigh into, on the list.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what they do with the sugars. They break them apart into smaller quantities, and they use ones that have a very high sweet level to it. And so, I mean, gosh, our food is so sweet.
Yeah.
And we've just become accustomed to that. That's what we like, and that's what we want. And it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's kind of their trick to doing that, of really getting these high levels of sugar in there to trap our taste buds. It really does. It makes us want to continue eating. It makes us want to go back for it.
It's very addictive.
It is. And so that's a little bit of a trick. So just be aware. If you're seeing a lot of these sugars in one ingredient label, I steer clear of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be aware. And then we have our alternatives, natural sweeteners. So you'll see your stevia, your monk fruit, and erythritol. And a lot of the people on the ketogenic diet will navigate towards these sweeteners. And the key there is that they don't necessarily spike your glucose level. They get digested differently.
Okay.
But it is important to know that they can cause gut issues such as bloating, gas, and diarrhea. Some people are a little bit sensitive to them. So just be aware if it's something that you want to try, just start in small amounts. And then we move into our synthetic sugars, which are, as you had touched on, the lab-made synthetic. And the reason that people gravitate to these, and the reason basically why they were made, was that they offer no calories.
Right.
So for weight loss, that's very attractive. They don't have to worry about this sugar in their calorie count, or, I'm going to use air quotes here, putting on weight. Okay.
Yeah.
Research shows differently, though. So the problem here is that these artificial sweeteners are made hundreds of times sweeter than your natural fructose, glucose, those sweeteners.
Yeah.
These are 100 times more sweet.
Yeah.
And so they really, again, trick and rob our taste buds. If this is something that we are chronically consuming, then our taste buds become accustomed to this high sweet content. So then when you eat something that has a natural sugar in it, you're like, oh, that tastes bad.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
And it's just because you've been tricked.
I mean, when you think about synthetic ingredients or synthetic foods, I mean, I quite literally imagine scientists in a lab creating these ingredients. And it's just not appetizing to me at that point.
Right.
It was created in a lab. It was engineered.
Yeah.
For a specific purpose, I would say.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm not interested.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's exactly what is happening. You've got people in a lab creating the substance and then putting it in food.
Yes.
And so you'll see these named, you'll see the names aspartame, advantame, neotame, saccharin, sucralose. Mm-hmm. Those are your just some. It's not all of them.
Yeah.
Just some of your artificial sweeteners that you will more commonly see in some of these foods.
Yeah.
Now, that's a whole nother podcast as well to talk about sugars.
Right.
You know, the downsides of your artificial sugars and some of the downsides of your natural sugars. Mm-hmm. They both, you know, one is not ruler and one is, you know, at the bottom.
Yeah.
They play a role. There is a purpose, but it's really important to know them.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
And so that will definitely be probably another podcast that we do.
Yeah.
Really get into that. So I'm going to touch on with these artificial sugars, some problems that research is showing is cardiovascular disease. They can trigger migraines. They can cause dermatitis, so skin problems, increased risk of type 2 diabetes. And a lot of diabetics drink the no sugar sodas and foods like that. But this is linked to causing increased risk of type 2 diabetes. So just be aware. Yeah. Know what you are consuming. It's also linked to overeating because they're empty calories, right? Or no calories. So there's no fiber, there's nothing there, no protein that's going to help satiate you and keep you full.
It is simply the flavor.
Yeah.
That
flavor,
you're receiving.
Texture,
yeah.
The sugar craving, yes, that you're wanting or you're receiving. Yep. And it can damage the gut bacteria and it will can overstimulate your sweet taste receptors, making you really, wanting that high sugar taste and rejecting the natural that just isn't going to taste good. It robs your sweet receptors. And there is research that is linking them to cancers. So just understand that, be aware, maybe do your own research, get in your mole tunnel and look at that a little more closely. If the artificial sweeteners is something that someone is consuming daily, multiple times a day, look into it. You might be shocked at what you're seeing.
Yeah.
We absolutely have a sugar problem. Sugar is in everything. People talk about sugar. People talk about how bad it is, how much they want it, how much they crave it. And
the sodas.
It's in everything. So how much should we be eating of our beloved sugar? Natural sugars, the American Heart Association recommends 9 teaspoons a day for men and 6 teaspoons for women a day. Teaspoons. Okay. Now, that may sound like a lot, but actually when you go and start really paying attention to the sugar that you're eating every day, oh my God, that you could consume that in one simple, healthy meal.
Yeah.
You could consume that. And I've tracked what I've done through a day of meals. And that's exactly what I found. I had a very healthy meal and I was already right there at my 6 teaspoons of sugar for the day.
Yeah.
Now for me, I'm like, okay, I really don't consume that much sugar. And I usually only eat maybe 2 meals a day. So for me, I
justify it.
But I felt kind of okay by that, but I was shocked by it.
Yeah.
I really was.
Yeah. I mean, just knowing what that number range is for you from one meal, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that knowledge is incredible.
Yeah. So roughly that 9 teaspoons or that 6 teaspoons for men or women, whatever. So that equates to 30 pounds a year that each individual is consuming if you follow the Heart Association's recommendations.
Now, we are consuming much more than that. So 30 pounds of sugar sounds like a lot.
I was shocked when I did my research on this. First, I was shocked that it was 30 pounds.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, that's what I should be. That's kind of what's recommended for a year.
And it sounds like so much.
It does.
Yeah.
But if you go back and look about 100 years prior to where we are now, they were only eating 10 pounds of sugar a year.
Wow.
Now, logistics, there's a difference there. I understand that.
Sure.
But at the same time, that's what it was. It was about 10 pounds a person per year.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at, it's recommended 30 pounds per person per year. Do you know what the average American is consuming annually?
No, I don't even want to guess.
Yeah. It's funny. Once I learned this, I asked just a broad range of people what they thought. And some guessed,
astronomical.
Yeah, quite a bit high. And then others, kind of guessed it almost right on, which surprised me because they're trying to throw out this outrageous number, but they actually were right. So realistically, people are eating anywhere from 60 to 100 pounds annually. And that's per person.
Wow.
That's where we are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Children to adults, that's where we're at.
Wow.
60 to 100 pounds per year. So imagine going to the grocery store January 1st, load up your grocery cart with what you want to eat. 60 pounds of sugar this coming up year.
Sure, let's go with 60.
Or even do your 30 pounds.
Yes.
And look at that.
Yeah.
And think, oh, I'm going to have to eat that this year. Wow.
Yeah.
But we do. And we consume, twice, if not almost 3 times as much.
Wow.
It's insane. So that's anywhere from 20 teaspoons to 34 teaspoons.
Wow.
That people are consuming daily.
Wow.
And I mean, if you look at a can of Coke, you're already well above that for your,
Well, and there's, obviously foods that we're eating, drinks that we're drinking that don't have a nutrition label on them because we're buying them from somewhere.
Good point.
Coffees are ones that can have a sugar content of over 100 grams in 1 cup of coffee. I've seen coffees with 124 grams of sugar in them.
Okay, so you're saying a cup of coffee. What are we talking about? 8 ounces? Because that's a cup. Or are we talking about 16 ounces?
Right,
or
maybe a 16 ounce.
Like 12 ounces.
Like a large iced coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
124 grams of sugar in a coffee drink.
And people consume that not even thinking, wow, this is a little too sweet.
Right.
It's like, oh, this is delicious.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that not crazy?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is the reality of where we are because everything is so oversweetened and heightened. Yeah. The sweetness is just 600 times what a natural, fruit sugar would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's a little upsetting.
Yeah.
So let's also look at how to calculate sugar from a label. Okay.
This is always very interesting to me. And this is a piece that I would recommend anyone listening to this episode write this down, either in your notes app on your phone or on a piece of paper, because this is something that I look at all the time. I go back and look at this little formula because I really don't think people know this.
Yeah. So if you just remember, okay, I'm a woman and I need 6 teaspoons of sugar. That's kind of the daily recommended amount. 6 teaspoons, but my label is in grams. So how do I know what I'm eating?
Mm-hmm.
So how you calculate that is you take your grams. So understand that 4 grams equals 1 teaspoon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you have 16 grams in this food that you've selected, you take that 16 grams, you're going to divide it by that 4.
Mm-hmm.
So 16 divided by 4 is 4. So from that one product, you already have 4 teaspoons of your daily recommended sugar allowance.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
16 grams, and you're already just about done there.
Mm-hmm.
No more.
With 4 grams.
Yeah.
Of sugar.
Well, that would be 16 grams.
Sorry, 16 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound necessarily like a whole lot.
Right.
Compared to a lot of these things that a lot of these, foods that you would look at.
Mm-hmm.
But it is.
Yeah.
It is. That's 4 teaspoons. So just instead of eating that food necessarily, if it's an empty calorie food,
mm-hmm.
just go to your pantry and get out 4 teaspoons of sugar and just eat that and say, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is.
So that's how you can calculate that. It's 4 grams
mm-hmm.
equals 1 teaspoon of sugar.
Yeah.
Let's just touch on really quickly, is sugar really addictive?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of debate around that.
Yeah.
And the studies, which are done mostly in animal studies,
mm-hmm.
and some people will say, that it really doesn't cross over into people. Animal studies really is just kind of animal studies, but that's what we have to kind of experiment on, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A lot of times people, in some studies are not going to, be able to study these kind of things. So so one of the studies, what they do is they give mice or rats cocaine,
mm-hmm.
and then they give them sugar,
mm-hmm.
and they see which one do they choose. Yeah. So, they're not going to round up a whole bunch of healthy people and say, okay, we're going to shoot you up with cocaine, and we're going to then offer you sugar, and we're going to get you addicted to cocaine and see if we can break that and get you addicted to sugar. So, not too many people, I think, are going to sign up for that study.
Yeah.
So that's why they do some of these on the animals. But so they are showing, though, that yes, the animals will break this drug addiction and go to sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That it is addictive.
Mm-hmm. And we live in a day and age where just about anything can be addictive. I think we have lots of addictive personalities out in the world. But when we're talking about sugar, it's so widely found in what we're consuming daily. And so I think that's really why the conversation of are sugars addictive comes up, because they're just so widely consumed.
They are widely consumed, but people have a hard time giving them up.
Right.
They don't want to give them up.
Yeah.
And why? Because they are providing some kind of release,
mm-hmm.
comfort. There's some stimulation in the body that keeps us craving it, coming back to it,
mm-hmm.
needing it,
mm-hmm.
even though we know we shouldn't maybe be eating that much.
Yeah.
We're trying to break the habit of having it, but we can't. So there is some kind of something, some addiction, something happening there.
And, I think there certainly is. I would be confident to say that people know that large amounts of sugar are not healthy for us. But at the same time, given that may be general knowledge, there are still individuals out there that choose to not actively think about how sugar is damaging to them, why sugar is damaging to them, how much they're consuming. So it's kind of like this, well, if I don't pay attention to it, it can't be so bad for me. Everyone eats sugar. It's in everything. So I'm not the only one. But I think that's even more of a reason to ask the question, is sugar addictive? Because I guarantee sugar in high amounts is not good for you. Yet we assume that it's just okay anyway.
Yeah. I think a big part of it too is that we may not totally see the absolute outcome of it directly. We can maybe see some weight gain, but maybe our skin complexity, our hair quality, our mood, our gut, those kinds of things, maybe a rapid heart rate, a little bit of high blood pressure, headaches, we may not realize that's coming from sugar. The possibility.
Right.
And there's lots of other factors here that could be also playing into that. But these are effects from sugar. Hyperactivity, mood swings. Yeah. If we're not really honed in on that, or we'll say, sugar's no big deal.
Yeah.
When actually your body's saying,
it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Need it. Or this is what it's doing to us.
Yeah.
Sugar is empty calories, largely. Sometimes, the better quality sugars, they'll have some minerals and vitamins attached to it, but largely sugar is empty calories when we eat it. There's no other nutrition in there. Okay, I say let's move on into our dyes real quick. This is another just really major topic that will require its own podcast, but we'll just try and move through here kind of quickly. Dyes are man-made. They're in a lab.
Yeah.
And research is showing that dyes are creating a lot of health problems.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's one that a lot of people are aware of. It is so common in our foods, in foods that you wouldn't even think would have dyes in it, like pickles.
Yeah, a jar of pickles
has dye in it. And you may say, okay, yeah, so what does that mean? Why is that important? So let's get into that. Our dyes, where do they come from? If you research this and find out where it comes from, they are synthesized from coal tar, petroleum-based products.
Does that sound like, first of all, that you can buy that off the shelf in a grocery store?
Yeah.
Let alone, does that sound like something you want to eat?
And it's in a lot of our foods.
A lot of our foods.
And not even just foods, medication. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's in a lot of stuff that we consume. Skincare products, hair products, makeup. So, we may not just be ingesting it, but our body is absorbing it. It's in so much. It is linked to cancer, hypersensitivity, hyperactivity, genotoxicity, depression, allergic reactions, respiratory disorders, impaired memory, restlessness, developmental effects on the nervous system, children's brain development. They're seeing this is a problem.
Yeah.
Irritability, sleep disturbance, and this is just scratching the surface of what dyes do to our body.
Yeah.
Symptoms and disorders that can come about from dyes. And what do we start most of our children day off with? Cereal that is loaded with dye, or drinks loaded with dye.
Yeah.
It's a serious problem, and it's one to really pay attention to on your ingredient list.
Yeah.
And so interesting is that the U.S. is one of the rare countries that allows it in our food. A lot of these other countries have banned it for a decade or more now. It has been banned.
Yeah.
And we still use it and allow it in our American products. And what's even more interesting is that the manufacturers that are manufacturing these products to put on our grocery store shelves to feed to our families, other countries will not buy those products. They're not allowed in their countries. And so these manufacturers change the ingredients to sell to other countries. They put in more natural ingredients.
the acceptable ingredients
to sell to other countries, but we don't get those.
Yeah. So they're even being created and manufactured here. They're just not being sold to our population.
Yeah. They're not being offered to us because we are not pushing back. Mm-hmm. We are giving them our money and saying, I agree. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to feed this to my family. I don't have a problem with you putting this poison in my food. Mm-hmm. I'm going to support you manufacturing this with my money. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the goal of this podcast, is to help you be aware, look at the ingredients, know what you're consuming, and have that power to either opt in or opt out.
Yeah.
So some of the names to look for these, because they're changing them. They don't just have Blue Lake on their Blue Lake 40 or whatever
Red Dye 40
on their anymore. They're changing them. Mm-hmm. So you can look for, and this is just a small list. There is more of a list out there. Tartrazine, Fast Green, FCF, Allura Red, AC, Indigotine, Erythrocine, Aluminum Lake. Those are just some. These are names of dyes. Yeah. So if you see these, just know you are consuming.
But what's so funny is that these still don't, I can't read these as ingredients. Like, these don't look like something that should be on an ingredient list.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they're changing them to, again, kind of trick us. We just skip right through it. Yep. Oh, I don't know what that means, so let me go on.
Yeah, it doesn't sound bad. Yeah. Maybe.
It doesn't have the word dye in it, or color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, as we kind of touched on, where you find these is just, it's just mind-boggling when you start actually looking at ingredient list, where this stuff is. You'll find it in the places that you just wouldn't even think of.
Yeah.
Largely children's medicine. You'll find condiments, pickles, cereal, chips, dairy, meats. They put dye in meats.
Yeah.
Fruits, like your oranges, drinks, even the ones that are claimed healthy will have dyes. You have to read your labels. Pizza crusts, applesauce, children's snacks, dried fruit, nuts, big one, salad dressings, marinades, flavor packets, ice cream, gum, cosmetics, hand soap, lotions, toothpaste. On and on and on and on this list can go.
All to make these items visually appealing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes. So again, that's where looking at the front of your package, as opposed to starting with the back of the package, will tell you volumes.
Yeah.
Because they market to our eye, the appealing colors. To kids, they love colors. That's what they're drawn to.
Or their favorite cartoon character. Yeah, it's all, the front is all marketing.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't start there. Go to the shelf, find the product you're looking for, and just immediately look at the back. Don't even look at the front. Look at the back and start there. Yeah. And decide, opt in, opt out.
It's so funny. My husband is such a visual shopper. He wants the coolest looking seasoning shaker or the coolest looking ketchup on the condiment aisle. And any time he brings something up to me in the grocery store, and he's like, "Wow, look at this." I'm like, "Okay, flip it over. What is back there?" Because they're really trying hard to sell this from the front of the packaging.
Right. Yep. And we get sucked in.
We do. Yeah. And these companies know this.
Oh yeah. They've done so much marketing to research what is going to grab people.
Yeah.
Yeah. They spend millions of dollars on marketing.
Yeah. And not going into this in this episode, but greenwashing is a real thing.
Oh yeah.
A real thing.
Yep.
Making it seem like it's something great, something healthy, something clean from the front. But you have to do your research. You have to take a few more seconds to really double check.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, we really do. And then one very common ingredient that you will see will be your natural flavors, and you'll see artificial flavors added, either on the front or on the back.
Yeah.
And so what this really means is it's a blend of synthetic chemicals designed to mimic the taste of a natural flavor. So when it says artificial flavor, you automatically know, okay, the lab made this to taste like this.
Yeah.
But when it says natural flavor, that's a loophole. That is just words saying we used whatever we wanted to make it taste like what it's supposed to. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't have to disclose what it is. They can use whatever means that they need to make it taste like what they're claiming it tastes like.
Yeah. Natural flavor does not mean natural.
It doesn't. You have
flavor.
to trust your brand on that one.
Right.
So I'm not totally afraid of natural flavor when I see that. Artificial flavor, absolutely. Totally afraid. I will not touch anything with artificial flavor or coloring. But natural flavors, I trust my brand.
Yeah.
And if it's a brand I'm not really familiar with, or I don't like any other ingredient or some of the ingredients maybe they're using, then natural flavors, I'm like, okay, yep, nope, that's a flag.
Yeah.
If they're using some of these other sketchy ingredients, nope, put it back. It's not the product for me. Yeah. And then I just move on to the next product and look at that label to find what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And sometimes, most of the time it's out there. Sometimes it's not. Okay, I'm going to redirect and find, what else I need, or either I don't need it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There comes that time.
There does. and it's okay. Let's quickly talk about citric acid, because this is another one very commonly that you're going to see in pretty much all products.
Yeah.
And citric acid is not great. And it's really important to be informed on this and know the difference, because there is more of a natural citric acid, and then there is the lab-made citric acid. So the purpose of citric acid is to enhance a flavor. So if something is really sweet, the citric acid is going to balance that bitter to sweet. It's going to offset that super sweet.
Right.
Okay. So it's going to help our taste buds. Not necessarily in a great way, because it's too sweet. So now they have to balance it.
Something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. It is to preserve foods. So it is important in that people who can or need to extend the shelf life of something will use the citric acid. So it is for preserving foods.
Yeah.
Extends the shelf life. So your natural citric acids will be from your lemons, limes, and oranges.
Right.
Now, that will be labeled ascorbic acid.
Okay.
Okay.
You're naturally occurring
on your labels.
acids.
Yes. So if you see ascorbic acid, that's going to be your natural citric acid that they got from a fruit.
Okay.
Or a lemon, lime, or orange. And then you've got your GMO, which is your lab-made citric acid. Okay. Yeah. This is made by taking the Aspergillus fungi. And now this has been done since early 1900s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So they take this fungi, they feed it sugar from either wheat, sugarcane, or corn. Different countries use the different base. So they use either the wheat, the sugarcane, or the corn. U.S. largely uses corn. That's a huge crop that we grow here.
Yeah.
So our citric acid is this fungi eats this sugar from the corn, and as it's eating this sugar, it's now creating mold, black mold, and they take that black mold, and that becomes your citric acid.
I did not know that.
Yes. So your GMO synthetic citric acid, which is most commonly in all of your foods.
Yeah.
If it says citric acid, you can almost guarantee it is this black mold from the Aspergillus fungi.
Wow.
And what it does, the purpose of it is for preservation, but it also is to enhance the flavor. But this fungi that turns into the mold then kills other bacteria that could spoil the food.
Sure.
So it extends the shelf life of the food.
Yeah.
It kills any other bacteria that's in there. Now, the reason why they use this is because this fungi is a very fast growing mold. Within days of it eating this sugar, it has created this mold, which then they scrape off that mold, and that's what's used for your citric acid.
Wow.
So one, they're using GMO corn, and then two, it's a black mold. And if you go in and you research this fungi, it is linked to asthma symptoms, pneumonia. It infects the lungs, and it's pretty invasive. Yeah, it's a serious fungi. Wow. So it's something that I'm actually it's a mold tunnel that I am going to be getting into. Yeah, I found it quite interesting on some of the little paths that I was taking with understanding citric acid a little bit more. It's something that I've always kind of tried to steer clear of, but it is in everything.
Yes, it is such a common preservative.
And so again, I just really try to trust my brand in hoping that it's more of a natural citric acid than the mold citric acid. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah. And so this is one that I'm going to definitely go deeper into, and then maybe we'll have a podcast over that once I can get a much clearer understanding.
I'm so shocked. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of off-putting, isn't it? Yeah. Kind of makes you think maybe.
Well, and you hear all the time, this fear-mongering over black mold in walls, of course, growing in a house. But now little do people know that they're actually consuming it.
They're actually consuming it.
Probably on a daily basis.
Yeah. The food companies are feeding it to us.
Oh my God.
And we're paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. In two ways, with our money and with our body. We are paying for it.
Wow. That is incredible.
And happily. We're standing in the grocery line, maybe not necessarily happily with inflammation or inflation.
Oh, and inflammation.
and inflammation. Maybe that wasn't a slip. I don't know how happily we're standing there with that, but we've got these products in our cart. We've selected it. We've opted in. We're happy. We're going to take it home. We're going to feed it. Yeah. Here, eat this mold.
I just have no words. Yeah. That's incredible.
Awareness. That's all it is. That's all this is. This is not to scare. This is not to, deter you, other than just have the knowledge. Yeah. Just know what you are paying for. Yeah. And what you are eating. Yeah. And bringing home to your families.
Wow.
Be aware. One last thing that we just have to talk about really quick would be our packaging. Yeah. And how important that is to our health. So we see a lot of things in plastics, aluminum cans, and then glass. But plastics are so toxic. Yeah. And especially when they're warmed up. So if it's a water bottle sitting in your car, just know you are drinking loads of toxins. And these toxins some of these are called forever toxins. So they get stored in your body. Your body does not know how to process them. And so your body takes it and just stores it. And it stores it in your fat cells. Yeah. And they can't come out of your fat cells.
Yeah. Because our body doesn't know what to do with them.
We can't detox from them.
Yeah. It's such a foreign substance.
And so it's linked to cancers and other immune problems. And it's just, there's a host of problems from plastics. Yeah. So be aware of what your food is coming in. And then your aluminum cans. Yeah. And anything that has a coating on the inside, your bags of chips have coatings on the inside. You're consuming that. Yeah. And it is linked. Research is showing that these things are having major effects on our body with the rise of diseases. and syndromes and inflammation and all of that.
Mental health issues. I think that's a really big one that people don't want to talk about. Yeah. What do you think about skipping the ingredient exercise? Because this is a very long episode.
It is. Yeah.
Go into the balance.
So let's just touch on reading our ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So just as we've been talking through this, we've really hinted to, the next in line after your nutritional facts is your ingredient list.
Yeah.
Look at your ingredient list.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the shelf, don't even look at the front. Grab your item, whichever one maybe that you're drawn to, look at the ingredient list or be aware.
A product that you get every time you're at the grocery store. This is something that I buy every week. Let me just check out the ingredients. From the front, it's telling me it's a healthier option. It has reduced fat. It has less sugar. Read the ingredients and just see how you feel about the product after that.
Yeah. You may find it full of different kinds of sugars. You may find it full of bad oils. You may find it full of thickening agents, which are really bad for your gut.
Mm-hmm.
They're being linked to irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah.
These thickening agents, your carrageenan,
gum, squar gum.
They're fillers. They're thicken, and that's just nonsense in there that you're buying and then putting in your body. So just be aware of those. Read all the way down. And I just can't stress that enough. Read your ingredients.
Yeah.
Know what you are consuming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So that's certainly taking us into our balance to read the ingredients.
this was some heavy stuff that we just dug into.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm feeling a little ramped up. And I wonder if maybe our listeners are too.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yes.
Let's breathe.
Yeah.
We're now a little more aware.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's chill out and let's find that balance.
Yeah.
Bring us in, Abigail. What's our balance here?
Reading the labels is going to be a big one.
It really is.
You don't need to cut out sugar. It's important to understand, of course, with the nutrition label that we really kind of decoded, just understand what you are eating, the different types of sugars out there, because there are so many, the amount of sugars, again, going back to our naturally occurring sugars and then our added sugars, because some products will have both in there.
And then also don't forget how to calculate your sugars to know exactly how much you are consuming.
Yeah. One of my favorites. If you can't pronounce the ingredient, you may not want to be eating it.
Probably shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always one that sticks out to me.
Yeah.
If it sounds like it was made in a lab, it probably was. And your body probably doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your brain thinks it does. Again, it was created for you to enjoy it.
But at a cost.
At a cost. Yeah. Your body itself is not thriving off of these engineered foods.
Yeah.
It's not. Don't be fooled by the natural, healthy, no added sugar, low fat, no artificial flavors. One that always sticks out to me is fortified. When a product wants to claim so badly that something is fortified, ask yourself why it needs to be fortified. Because chances are all the nutrients, vitamins, minerals were extracted out of that food and synthetically added back in. That's a big one.
Yeah, it is. And that's exactly what happened through the process of either bleaching or whatever process it went through. All of the nutritional value went out.
Yeah.
And so then they've got to put it back in. One, for texture, for taste.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't put it in necessarily to enrich our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it really altered how that food is going to be palatable.
Yeah.
And so they had to synthetically now put stuff back in to make it palatable.
Yeah.
That's what happened there.
So backwards.
Yeah.
Listen to how your body feels after meals. Do you get bloated? Do you have fatigue or brain fog? Are you hyper, agitated, moody, anxious? Do you get constipated? Are you hungry right after you've just eaten? These are all things that we really should tune in and listen to our bodies, because the discomfort is trying to tell us something.
And let me throw in here, watch your child.
Mm-hmm.
Is your child all of a sudden hyper,
Mm-hmm.
moody, complaining of a stomach ache?
Mm-hmm.
What is their body telling you?
Yeah. I'll let you do the feel the meal part.
Yes, I'm going to try and coin this one here. So with listening to your body, it is feel the meal.
I like that.
Feel the meal. So after every time you eat,
Mm-hmm.
I want this to stick in your brain. Say to yourself, feel the meal.
Yeah.
Okay. How do I feel? Right after you eat it, how do you feel? Do you instantly have a headache?
Mm-hmm.
Do you instantly start feeling your tummy rumble and 10 minutes later you have gas?
Mm-hmm.
Feel it. What are you feeling? An hour later, by the end of the day, the next morning,
Yeah.
feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of these foods will stay in your system for days.
Yeah.
You may have a headache for 3 days and not know why. Well, that you had a food sensitivity, possibly.
Mm-hmm. 3 days ago.
It takes about 3 days sometimes for a food to work its way out of the body.
Yeah.
So you can feel a meal
Mm-hmm.
for days.
Yeah.
Feel the meal.
Mm-hmm. And a good feeling after a meal is going to be to feel full without feeling bloated, without feeling gassy, without, that yucky, sluggish, maybe sleepy feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You want to feel that energy from the food you just ate. You want to be satisfied by the food that you just ate. Clear-minded.
Yes.
Have, a good mood.
Yep.
Balance your ingredients.
Yep.
It is all a balancing act. But I really love feel the meal.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because whether you're paying attention or not, you're always feeling the meal. But when you're consistently not feeling good, it's time to ask yourself some questions.
Yeah.
And it's time to do some investigating.
Yeah. And for me, I know feel the meal the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
If I wake up and my fingers are swollen
Mm-hmm.
or my joints in my fingers hurt,
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling my meal.
Yeah.
And I trace back and I'm like, ooh, what did I eat?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times it'll be a certain grain
Mm-hmm.
that will do that. It'll be a carb.
Yeah.
My husband, his feet,
Yes.
he feels his meal the next day
Mm-hmm.
in his feet when he gets out of bed and first steps on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
He feels his meal.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't, some of us don't even think about it. We think, oh my gosh, old age.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's your meal.
Mm-hmm. I feel it in my knees.
Amazing.
I will get up in the mornings and you just slept the whole night. You just rested the whole night. You're supposed to get out of bed and your body feel rested and good. No, I'll get up and I feel inflammation in my knees.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the meal.
Yep. Feeling the meal.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think a big one, of course, that people talk about is just choosing whole foods. Really whole foods, your fruits, vegetables, meats, cooking your meals at home. It's going to be the best, the easiest way to do it. You get to make the food how you want it to be, how you want it to taste. You get to choose your portion, whole foods. But if you have to buy the packaged foods, I always try to recommend to limit your ingredients. How many ingredients are on the back of that package?
Yeah. Yeah. If there's a long list of ingredients, then there's lots of sugars and fillers and just nonsense that your body doesn't need.
Mm-hmm.
I try to stick to 5 ingredients when I'm looking at a label.
Mm-hmm.
So if I flip it over and it's got 20, I don't even read it. Nope.
No.
You know what? Nope. And I'll just go pick another one.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I can find one, maybe not 5 ingredients, maybe 7 to 10.
Yeah.
And I'll look through those and see, okay, what is an absolute no?
Yeah.
A dye? No. Some of the sugars? No.
And it depends on what the product is that you're looking at. You know, if 5 ingredients is your kind of your standard almost, or a processed food, a packaged food, let's say. If 5 ingredients is what you're looking for, and you see maybe 7, it's a little more understandable that there's 7 ingredients in there. But when you flip that box over and there's 20 plus ingredients, it's just at that point, it feels like it's not even a food.
Right.
It just feels like there's so many things in here
that they had to put in there to make it taste good for you to eat it.
Yeah.
And have somewhat of a addiction to it to where you will continue to buy that product.
It's not like it's a granola bar with these 3 different grains, with pumpkin seeds, with molasses to hold everything together. It's not like it's this, you know, all of these foods to make up a granola bar.
Right.
It's your chicken nuggets that you find in the freezer section that has so many ingredients.
Oh, yeah.
So many ingredients that it just doesn't feel like a food anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really, I mean, truthfully, it really isn't.
Yeah.
It's just something that you're putting in your body. Your body may be stuffing away some of the ingredients that it doesn't know about. And then the rest just comes out.
Yeah.
And maybe 2 hours after we ate it, we're now hungry and we want something sugary.
Yeah.
Ingredients are important. The back of your packaging is important. Start there.
Yeah.
Don't even look at the front.
Yeah.
Start in the back. Start comparing. It'll feel overwhelming at first. You will take a lot longer time at the grocery store. Plan for that. It is so worth it doing it. And really, you will learn so quickly what you're looking for, what you're not looking for. You'll start learning brands really quick.
Yeah.
And you'll find the red flags as you're walking down the aisle, and you'll know, I don't even need to waste my time on that one.
Yeah.
And it'll start going so much more naturally and faster.
Yeah.
But at first, it will feel a little overwhelming. Just decide what you want to opt in and what you want to opt out of. You don't have to cut things out. You don't have to drastically change. Just start making small, incremental changes and just decide really.
And like I said, start with the item or items that you get every week when you go to the grocery store. And just start by flipping it over and reading the ingredients.
And comparing, 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then just pick the better one.
Exactly. If you read the ingredients and there's multiple things that stick out to you that you think, okay, I'm not sure I want to continue eating this if it has this, this, and this in it. Go to the next brand, flip it over, compare them, see how they are, and make those swaps that way. You don't have to completely change what you eat tomorrow.
Yeah, no.
You just change a few things at a time.
Yeah, and just understand that as you change ingredients, your taste buds have to change.
That's a great point.
Give yourself the kindness and the grace to also allow that change. Things are not going to taste as you were liking, but I tell you what, it does happen. Your taste buds do change as soon as you start making these changes. And as soon as you realize, okay, yes, that was garbage. It was tricking my taste receptors. It was tricking my brain. It was tricking my body. Okay, I know this. I'm going to stick with this. And after maybe 2, maybe 3 times, really, that's all it takes is really about 2 times to try something new. And if you're really going to like it, your taste buds will automatically switch over. If after the 3rd time you're still like, no, that really just does not taste good, then don't. Move on to another brand, looking at the ingredients, and find what does then taste good. But just understand, your taste buds have to change.
Yeah. There certainly is that adjustment period that your taste buds have to go through. Yeah. And that's something I mentioned to someone that I mention to people all the time, is that things are not going to taste like you're expecting them to.
Yeah.
you do have to allow yourself that time to adjust.
You do. And the hardest one is the kids.
Yeah.
Is getting them to adjust.
Yeah.
But if you could just have candid conversations, maybe take them on the journey that you are and then have them learning with you and reading ingredients with you.
Mm-hmm. Get them excited.
And let them understand that, our taste buds are used to this, but this is maybe a little bit better option. So we're just going to let our taste buds try some new stuff and just maybe get used to it and just talk to them how you need to.
Yeah.
But that really is maybe one of the hardest is getting kids to transition as well.
Yeah.
But it's so important.
It is.
So important.
Yeah. Are we ready to?
Yeah. Let's take a look at our card. I hope everybody enjoyed learning about the nutrition label and talking about ingredients. And I hope it really gives power to everyone the next time that they go to the grocery store or any store looking for anything, whether it's a plastic something or cosmetic or lotion or whatever. Know your ingredients. Yeah. Look at the back, no matter what it is.
No matter what it is.
Yeah. All right. What wisdom does our card have for us?
Stormy seas.
No.
Unrest. There is a storm brewing that needs your attention. When faced with uncertainty, it's an opportunity to make adjustments and course corrections.
Wow.
Wow.
Course correction. That's fantastic.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And that's really what navigating grocery store aisles is. It's course correcting. And it does feel stormy when you are having to kind of change things up.
Yeah. Especially when you're looking at things that you consume often and you're like,
you're just used to it.
I thought this was going to be better for me.
Yeah.
And then it's just,
you
have to start all over. Stormy seas, course correction. That's amazing.
I like it.
When faced with uncertainty, it's an opportunity to make adjustments and course corrections. Wow.
Yeah. That's a beautiful word, opportunity.
Yes.
Yep. Opt in, opt out.
Yeah.
It's a big opportunity.
Wow. I love that.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, fantastic.
Yes.
This lived up to my expectations of how fun it was and just how much information needs to be put out there. Yeah. And we just,
skim the surface.
This is just the basics. And we also see other podcasts in this one.
Yes. Yeah.
So there's definitely more to come.
More conversations about foods and ingredients. Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone for listening to today's episode. We're very glad you came to join us. If you have any questions, we'd love to answer any questions for us. You can also reach out to us on our Instagram account as well. That would be the number 4 bodies on Instagram. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you next time. Until then, be balanced.
Thank you for listening. This episode is for educational purposes only. The information is not intended to give medical advice or therapy. Please consult with a licensed healthcare provider before making any changes to your health regimen. Also know that you are responsible for your life choices and circumstances. Until next time,
be well
and be balanced. Bye.
Bye.